my channel. I went off for a big shop. My cupboards were pretty bare. I hadn't done a proper shop for a little while. I just sort of got some stuff from the co-op. I was making do with what we had, using everything up, and so the cupboards were looking quite empty. So we went off for a big shop, went further afield to the big shops. And I went to Lidl's, Asda's, Farm Foods. I also went to Home Bargains, and I popped into the Range as well. I have split it into 2 videos so I don't have to ramble on too long at once. It'll be a really long video. So this is sort of part 1. This is Lidl's and Asda. This was stuff to fill my cupboards up. I don't know how long this is going to last. I've decided I'm just going to use it all, you know, responsibly, carefully, whatever you want to call it, not just sort of eat everything in one go, make it last as many meals as I can. So oik it out basically as long as possible and then go shopping again. I'm not quite sure, as I say, how long it will last. It'll be at least 10 days, if possibly a few more days. But we're going to see what we come up with. So today I'm going to show you Asda and Lidl. I also got some stuff for my prepper pantry that's separate, so I'll show you that in a separate video as well, because that's separate things. But this one is Asda and Lidl. I spent about £26 in Lidl and about £41 in Asda. I had to get a couple of things for other people, so I quickly took that off the bill roughly. So if you add it all up and you go, it doesn't come to that, it's because I did buy something for somebody else, and I just done a quick sort of rough guide. So it's roughly £41 Asda, roughly about £26 from Lidl, and this is what I've got. So this is all the shopping, and I'm going to start at the bottom end with Lidl's. Now I'm hoping to get back into some home baking and stuff again. Haven't done any for a while. I think it saves you money, and it's just nicer making your own. So I bought some strong white bread flour. That was £1.09, and they had some of these little sachets of fast action yeast. It was 69p for quite a few, so I got a pack of those as well. I always used to make my own bread back in the day. I don't do it so much now because of my fingers with the kneading, but I am going to give it a go and see how that works. So I bought some bread flour and some yeast to make my own bread. I was totally out of flour. I made a few birthday cakes and different cakes and things over the summer, and I didn't have any baking products much left at all in the cupboard. So I bought a self-raising flour, 70p, and I bought a plain flour that was also 70p. I also bought some of this dark brown soft sugar. This was £2.15 for a really big bag. That's a kilo bag. I do find Lidl and Aldi's for baking products seem really good with the prices. It seems to be a lot cheaper there than anywhere else. I haven't tried the Lidl baking things before because we don't live really near a Lidl. I do live a bit closer to an Aldi, so I have tried the Aldi ones, but I'm going to try the Lidl ones this time. When I make fruit cake, I usually put brown sugar in there to make it like a darker sort of fruit cake with this sort of more of a dark treacly type flavour, which I really like. And things like that. I do use brown sugar quite a bit. They're great for crumbles. We're going to be having a lot of crumbles the next few months because we have got so many apples and plums and stuff to use. So it's going to be like crumble season. So I got this brown sugar to try. £2.15. £2.89 for cocoa powder. This is for 250 grams. Haven't tried this one before. I hope it's okay. It's mainly for baking. Cocoa's gone so expensive, but I thought I'd try this one to use it in baking a bit for all sorts of things. And then I got this. I can't even read my own writing through the lens. 85p, I think that says. Yep, just vanilla essence, cakes and things, muffins, whatever, vanilla essence. I was nearly out. I bought some fruit because I want to make a fruit cake. I love fruit cake. It's one of my favourites, homemade fruit cake. I don't use eggs in my baking, so it's like an eggless fruit cake, and it's basically flour, butter, I put brown sugar in there, and I put fruit as well, and then I mix it with soy milk to make a dough. these sultanas were £1.05. They were the cheapest of the fruit type things. They were cheaper than the currants. They were half the price of currants, and they were cheaper than the raisins. So I got sultanas. I like sultanas. So I got those, £1.05, 500 grams. And then I got cherries. I can't make a fruit cake without my cherries. I love cherries. Usually in the old days when they were a bit cheaper, I'd put masses in. This time I'm going to be putting a few less, cutting them small, making this do 2 cakes. £1.59. I grew up with my dad. He used to love a fruit cake, and he always used to make us put extra fruit in the fruit cakes. He said he does not want to play hunt the currant when he was having a piece of cake, and so I've sort of got that from him. So I always used to shove loads in, but I will be cutting down a little bit. Sorry, Dad, because the prices are so high these days. So that's for my baking. I bought this multigrain loaf. We have started it already. This is £1.09. I got some wraps, 99p. The 8 is quite a good size. Paracetamol, 35p. Cupboard was getting a little bit low. I like to keep stocked up with a few first aid things in the cupboard. I saw this mint cream, £1.59. Chocolate, cocoa powder, it's all gone high. I just bought this one. I quite like the Aldi one, so I thought I would try the little one, as that's where I was this week. So I got that for myself. Baby potatoes. It's nearly the end of the season for them, and we'll be into big sacks of the big potatoes, the old potatoes, if you like, making mash and stuff. So I thought, well, there's still a few of these around. These were 98p, so I got 2 bags. I do love those. I also got broccoli, got this massive thing of broccoli for 99p, and then £1.19 for a cauliflower. Cauliflowers are quite small, but it'll be okay. That's what I'm going to have for my meal later, actually. I'm going to have potatoes, broccoli, cauliflower, and some carrots. Carrots were 69p for a bag of those. So it's that season again, although I've been eating this mainly through the summer. Got some salad for my husband, 99p for tomatoes. 65, I think that says, each for 2 quite large peppers, and then his iceberg lettuce was 89p to go with his wraps as usual. And then I got myself a romaine lettuce, £1.09, and 2 cucumbers, 89p, and that was it. That was Lidl's, that little bit there. And then we're going to move on now to Asda's. First thing I got in Asda, I picked up 2 hand towels. They were just £1.47 each. So I thought that was a really good deal. My towels, I'm so short of hand towels. In fact, towels in general. Some of mine have got such big holes in them, and they're just falling apart. I've had them for ages, and they just washed and used and washed and used. And I thought, right, well, I saw them, and I've got a pink theme. I usually have pink towels in my kitchen and grey towels in my downstairs bathroom, because that's what goes with my themes. So £1.47, I just got 1 of each. I was umming and ahhing about getting 2 of each, but to be honest, I didn't have extra money. I thought, right, I'll just get 1, see how we go, and hopefully if they're there next time, which will be at least a month, if not slightly longer than a month away, I'll pick up some more. So I got those. Then I got sugar, £1.09. I got 3 bags, which looks excessive, but I'm stewing lots and lots of apples in this next week, and I'm going to start making jam. This won't be nearly enough, to be honest, but I thought I'd make a start with those for jam, doing damson and apple jam, and I'm stewing my apples. Talking of stewed apples, they did have the storage containers that I wanted, £1.97 for 16 of these food tubs, and this is to put my stewed apple in to freeze. Ready for pies, crumbles, and stewed apple and custard. So I've got those. Bag of pasta, 75p. Pasta sauce, 69p. That's 2 couple of meals for my husband. 49p some crackers for snacking on. Basmati rice was... oh, I thought I did write it on here. Must have rubbed off. Oh, it is there. I think it's 57. Way in the light there. Can you see that? 57p. Got 2 of those. I got this fat-free vinaigrette dressing for the salads, £1.08. It wouldn't stop rolling when I was trying to write that on, so it looks a bit weird, because every time I tried to write it, it was just going a bit weird. So £1.08 for that. As I got myself a bar of chocolate, I thought I'd get one for my husband. £1.74, just plain dairy milk. I don't cook with oil very much anymore. I just use a bit of the spray. But there's been a few recipes lately, and my daughter's living with me at the moment, and she needed a bit for some recipes, and we were trying to spray this spray. So I thought, right, let's just have a bottle in the cupboard for bits and bobs. I don't use a lot of oil anymore, but for the odd thing, it is handy. £1.99 for that, will last a very long time. £1.03 double strength orange and pineapple squash. That'll last me quite a long time, especially as it's the double strength. And I thought, I'll get orange and pineapple for a change. I really like tropical, but they didn't have any, so I got that one. It's the time of the year again, changing meals up a little bit. So I've got these a couple of mixes. I'm going to do a cottage pie. This is actually vegan. It's just spices. And I'm going to do a lentil cottage pie. 49p there for some green lentils to make a cottage pie. And then this beef casserole dish is so lovely flavouring. Again, it's vegan, and I'm going to use some of the vegetables I got, and instead of putting beef in it, I'm going to put in some of these buttered beans. They were 49p, and the flavouring's lovely with that. I have got a couple of onions left in the fridge to use up, so I'm going to be putting red onions and carrots in there. Maybe some of the broccoli florets as well, and mix it up with the butter beans, put this in, and it's really tasty. So that is a few meals for me. They'll do several meals for me. I've also got 2 cans of chickpeas, 47p. I'm going to make a curry again. So I've got those 2, and then I've got some tomato puree for any of the above. That was 72p. Chopped tomatoes, again for the curries, cottage pie, all that stuff, 1.68. I thought it worked out just a much better buy, and it was easier just to pick up 4 cans, and I know I'm going to be using them because I'm making lots of different meals this next sort of couple of weeks. So 1.68 for those. I saw these, 70p, hearty minestrone, and there's no dairy in there. It's hit and miss with these soups. Sometimes they're lovely, sometimes they're just not very nice, but I haven't tried the Asda one. I thought it'd be really good to stick in my bag for work if I'm on a late shift or something, to have a bit of a soup, just to be a bit more filling and warm through, especially if you've got a busy shift. So that's what I thought. I'd just try them. Again, it can be a bit hit and miss with the taste. I got 2 red pepper hummuses for my husband to go with his wraps. They were £1.27 each. I got this. We actually went shopping yesterday and got back quite late. So I bought this. I don't do a lot of ready meals, but I've never seen this one before. Mushroom and vegetable lasagna, and it was vegan. It was £2.84, so it was a little bit of a treat. But I didn't buy myself a yoghurt or anything like that this time. I usually get myself one of the yogurts I like, and I decided not to. I was going to put the money. I thought I really wanted to try this. It was absolutely delicious. I did it in the oven and not the microwave. I always think things do taste better doing them in the oven, ready meals. It was really nice. So I would highly recommend. It's not something I'd have all the time, but now and again, very nice. I got a big pack of eggs. £3.25, 12 large eggs. They're for my husband's breakfast, and my daughter said she fancied egg on toast a couple of times as well, so I've got a big pack for them to share. I did get this for my husband, £2.48. That was going to be his meal because we were out late, but he ended up eating something else. So that was a corn tikka masala. I got him some cheese, £2.93 for the Cathedral City. We have got a couple of jacket potatoes left. If he wanted one of them, or just to go with the crackers for snacking, or cheese on toast, or whatever. And then, of course, I couldn't forget his breakfasts. £4 4p now for the Kellogg's big 1 kilo of cornflakes. And that was that. That was, as I say, was Asda. That was roughly £41. So I'm going to be putting this with a few things I got from Farm Foods, which I'll show you in the next video, so please stay tuned for that. And I'm just going to make this last as long as possible and stretch it out, and I'm trying to do as many homemade meals as I can. So there we are. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe and all that wonderful stuff. And until next time, let's all stay frugal.